what's crappening? Yeah, man, there's something I noticed. It's like when it comes to kicking or punching or anything that you do, everything you do, it basically all starts. It starts somewhere and it ends somewhere, and most of the time, everything starts from one of your feet in the ground, or both of your feet planted into the ground, and it's like the best way I can explain it. It's like a rubber band, okay? Like when you take the rubber band and you put it around your fingers and you pull on it and it's kind of taut, right? Well, if you take that rubber band, double it up, then put it around both fingers, then you pull on it, it's more taut. You know what I'm saying? And there's different body mechanics. It's like basically what you're doing, you're using the singular part of the rubber band, and then you can actually twist yourself to the ground and through the body. And then actually, it's almost like also, it's like holding a big weight here and then swinging the weight and using that swing plus the tautness of the rubber band, and it's all boom, it's coming out, and it's starting somewhere, it's ending somewhere. It's created somehow, though. You have to either you got to do it by thinking about it, experimentation. Someone's got to tell you. You got to just learn by accident. There's many ways, you know what I'm saying, to learn things. You know what I'm saying? There's infinite ways to learn things. You know what I'm saying? But trial and error. Anyone who's tried to learn anything, no matter what the discipline was, there's a lot of trial and error involved. But when it comes to kicking, something I've noticed here, this is the term I've heard it called. It's called chambering. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good technique when it comes to kicking. See, you could just have your foot planted, and then you come straight from being planted to kicking out, right? But I noticed how these, like the Taekwondoists, they lift their leg and they point their leg, their toe down. When you lift and point the toe, it gives you a snap at the end of the kick. That, I've been playing around with this little chamber. I mean, some things you can chamber, and then there's actually almost a reverse chamber too, where it's like if you were gonna go punt a football, you would put your foot back like that. It's the same chamber. You kind of point the toe and then swing it, and it snaps kind of at the end of the kick. That'd be like stepping forward. You'd be coming off this foot, but as you lift the foot, you chamber it as you were going and then bring it forward. I mean, you got some people, some styles of kicking, they use the top of the foot more. I don't really too much like the top of the foot because it's almost like using this part of your hand to hit. It's all bones there. So if you use it wrong, like if I use this on the top of someone's head, it might not hurt my hand. But if I used it at the point of their elbow, it'll break the damn bones. Same thing with the bottom of the feet. Or the bottom of your foot could take a hit to the elbow straight directly. But the top of your foot, if you hit the elbow or the shin bone, the place where the bone is in the skin, that's all there is. There's spots in your body. That's a full spot. Like the spot where the muscles is at is like a void. There's even a void between the bone and the muscle that's even less resistance if you know where they're at, if you know anatomy well enough. But you got to think about that chambering. That's not something really I do, because it's like most of the time when I practice, I walk with the foot out and it's parallel to the ground, and then it falls flat. So it's hard to, but actually it's a good spot to chamber up from. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't learn about chambering up until I started studying. Well, I read a book about Taekwondo and I looked at their techniques. And over time, it's increased my kicking ability. But that wasn't my main thing anyway. My main thing is more of a obscure striking, grappling, and trying to gain, like, through angles, superior position. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least that's what I taught myself, and through the martial arts, studying different mixed martial arts, because it's hard to be a martial artist anymore without actually being a mixed martial artist. Period. I mean, because what traditional martial art out there alone as a style is just supreme, reign supreme. Or and the best styles out there actually are ones that kind of adapt. They're flowing like water. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like basically the only time I see people use a stance where their feet are close is boxers, and they don't even do that much, you know. And they can stand a little taller because they don't have to worry about anything below the belt. So you can use that sometimes if you were fighting like someone who does different that isn't just boxing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean it's dangerous because think about a wrestler. You stand up with your legs all close together like that. That dude's he's gonna pretend like he's gonna grab your throat, and then he's gonna grab both your legs like this and hug them, pick your ass up, and take you down. So you know that's like a bad time to use that. You can only use that when you're just boxing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you gotta bend. It's always best, you know, to bend your knees. I mean, that's right at the beginning. You're right. First thing you do is you sink, and you don't tense up nothing. You just relax everything. So like I said, this is more of like being less of being like a sledgehammer and less of being like a, you know, it's more or like a heavy stick that breaks bones. It's more like you turn yourself into a switch. It's more like what it is. It's a switch or and a whip. You can turn your body in. You can be a sledgehammer force and just bring all your body weight like a shock charge. Like when someone's on a horse and they got their feet in the stirrups and they got their long lance out there. That point of that lance has all of the weight of that horse, its force momentum going forward, and the earth in which it's all grounded into the horse. Probably only 1 foot is off the ground, but all the other 3 are pushing forward, and that knight is leaning forward and aiming the tip. All that, multiply all those forces times each other, boom. I mean, that's just one of the ways this works. But if that knight took his lance and went like this, like a baseball bat, man, and he went as he went by, that's generating a different kind of a whipping. Like it would the lance would be fucking moving so fast, it wouldn't be straight. It would be like an S, and then as it hit, it'd be broken as it would be shaped like a bow, and it would snap back the opposite way. I mean, these are just ways I'm trying to describe with objects that we know what they are. We can visualize them like a rubber band. You know it's taut anyway, but if you double it, it's twice as taut. Then you double it again, it's actually 4 times as taut. Each time you double it, you get more taut, but you lose the ability to stretch at some point, and it'll get so tight it won't bend, then it'll just break. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we want. We want to stay in this. You want to be able to push it as far as you can where it's still effective. You want to be as nice as you can when it's still effective. I mean, this is a delicate balance. This is like, I mean, it truly is. I mean, this, you know, people want to downplay this experimentation of the human body and its ability, and through the martial art and the you know, and training, and then reading ancient texts and putting together their clues, man. It's there's a big ethics you got to have involved in this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's some powerful information. So, but yeah, that's what's up, man. There's just some little kung fu tidbits and tips for my people who do that. Get at me though.